And now I'm going to throw this over to Miss Titania here for our next round of questions. Titania, are you ready?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Okay. So, Titania, you are in a leadership position, and I see you've been with Extreme for about 15 years now. Is that correct?
Yeah, about that. I was one of the first sort of acquired companies. So Extreme has been on like an acquisition kind of spree over the past few years, sort of acquiring additional products and talent, et cetera. And so yeah, I was one of the first a few years back.
Okay, awesome, absolutely phenomenal. And you have risen through the ranks. I mean, what was your experience in regards to your own personal journey for career advancement here at Extreme?
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. So when I joined Extreme, I had left. I had been a consultant, and I wanted to not travel anymore, and so I came to Extreme, came into in-house IT, and I started as a business analyst. And so I started working and started delivering, and I had a few very successful projects, and then I was sort of rewarded with promotions, and that's kind of been my trajectory. It's been you do well, you execute, you deliver, and then you're rewarded. So it's definitely been a interesting uh, career journey. I've been fortunate that not only have I gone after certain jobs and things that I wanted, but I've also had people sort of tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, I think you would be good at doing that. You should really look into this area." So it's been and I just say I want to make the point that Extreme is an environment where if you're ambitious and you work hard, you will be rewarded. But you also have folks, sponsors and allies looking out for you and sort of also trying to push you along.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is absolutely phenomenal to hear that, right? As an employee, you always want to know that, hey, I'm going to be judged on the quality of my work and my ability to execute the tasks that have been set before me, right? Not any political drama, nothing like that. And, you coming on at Extreme, it seems that that was absolutely the case for you, and that your
Absolutely.
hard work was not only recognized but also rewarded, which has got to be feel real good, and probably one of the main reasons you're still here at Extreme with us, which we are so thankful for.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I know 15-ish years. I mean, it sounds like it's a long time, but I'm happy to say that I've never been bored. I've been always able to work on interesting projects, new technologies, and most importantly, really good people, right? Because I could have had the first two, and then been with a bunch of jerks and been like, I'm out of here, But
yeah,
having good people that are willing to problem solve and work with you is key.
yeah, it's. I mean, you're only as strong as your team, right? And having a good team and a good colleagues, allies, even friends here, at Extreme makes all the difference in the world and is so impactful, you know. And so, in regards to that, just a fun question for you. What if you weren't in this position right now? What job might you choose if you didn't do what you do now here at Extreme?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would probably want to be some sort of teacher or professor. I think that even though I feel like I do some of that in my current role, but I would love to sort of mold young minds or uh, young adults or etc. So yeah, probably more a teacher, professor. Sounds good. Give back to
Right. Okay.
society.
Yeah, no, Titania, I could see that. I always find that I learn something when I hear you speak here internally or in our interactions. And that brings up a great point about, here at Extreme, our mentorship program, right? That we have that's
Absolutely.
sponsored by, by Black at Extreme, for our Black and African American employees, to continue advancement there. In that regard, I feel like that is such a tremendous accomplishment and achievement for our ERG here at Extreme to have really launched that program here internally. Being that you mentioned, hey, I may want to be a mentor or teacher. What are your thoughts on that program? Have you been a part of that program? Or, for any of our attendees listening today, if they were to come on board, might they be so blessed as to potentially have you be one of their mentors?
Absolutely. So yes, I've participated, and participate rather in the mentorship program that's sponsored by our ERGs, and it's really important to have mentors and sponsors. And I encourage everyone who's listening that if you don't have a mentor, please do seek one out. It's always great to have someone who can be a sounding board for you, someone who can give you advice and tips on how to navigate, your career, maybe challenging work situations. And I also encourage people to be mentors. You want to pay it back, right? So as I continue to hopefully succeed, I talk to my mentors and I share with them my experiences, or how I've navigated certain things, or some great advice that my mentors have shared with me. I try to pay that forward. So absolutely, mentorships are key, and it's great. It's one of the best things I think for at Extreme is our mentorship program.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I there's so many mentors in my life that I've had that have just absolutely made such a tremendous impact and helped me to evolve as as a father, as a son, as a man, as an employee, as a friend, right? And it's just so important to get that someone else's perspective that may have different experiences that they can draw from, that you can learn from, and someone that is willing to share those experiences with you, right? And as you said, my grandmother, God rest her, always told me, in order to remain blessed, you must find a way to bless others, right? And I think, as you mentioned to Tanya, becoming a mentor, and you said pay it back, pay it forward, right? Is one of those ways that you can truly bless someone, because you never know just how tremendous of an impact your mentorship can have on that individual. So, absolutely agree there. Absolutely. And speaking of mentorship, you mentioned and different allies and things like that. Being a Black woman here at Extreme and seeing the success that you've had in your career and the way that you've been able to evolve, I just wanted to see if you could maybe elaborate on that, like what it means to you, and how Extreme, is really not only from a cultural perspective, but also from a gender perspective, right? We heard from Kimberly earlier, our leader SVP, of talent here at Extreme, and she's just such a great light for us here at this company, as are you. But just give our audience a little taste of what it's like to be a Black woman here at Extreme.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think for me, that's kind of a deep question, Jared. I'd have to just take a moment to think about that. I mean, I think
Yeah, no worries. I know. I'm sorry. No, we promised the audience we're gonna get deep and have a candid discussion here. So, sorry to put you on the spot, Titania, but take all the time you need.
yeah. No, I'll say it this way. I mean, I've never felt that being Black or being a woman has held me back in any way. I'd like to think that, you know, those attributes or qualities about me have only added to my success, and as part of the Titania special sauce that I bring every day to Extreme, and how I show up. um so I think that Extreme appreciates people for who they are. So I'm a black woman, I'm a Jamaican woman, I'm a mom, all of those things sort of show up in how I interact with my peers and my colleagues, and, show up in good ways in how I deliver for Extreme. So you kind of threw me off guard there, but I hope I recovered.
Yeah, no, no, you did well, and I think that your first statement that you being a black woman has nothing to do with your success here at Extreme. If anything, it is a plus because from your own experiences and being who you are, right, which is a hardworking mom, right, that does her job well, right, and has risen through the ranks and been recognized for that. I think that that's what matters, right? And
Absolutely.
that you pull from those strengths and from who you are in your everyday life, and they shine through in various aspects, which help you to be successful, right? So I think it's important, for our audience to know and understand that here at Extreme, come as you are, right? We're here to support you. Once you're part of our family, that's all that matters. That you're part of our family, and that what you bring to the table will be appreciated, and who you are will be appreciated as well.
Absolutely. And I think, just to add to that, I think we've seen that with our ERGs, right? We have, as you mentioned before, we have several ERGs, obviously Black at Extreme. We have our Asia American ERGs, our veterans. And what's really great and fun from the ERGs is all of the events and things that they put on, where you can learn a little bit about, additional cultures, other perspectives, right? It gives you a glimpse into maybe some areas that you might not necessarily, have the ability to see into, right? So I think that's a really, important aspect of Extreme, and, a really great one as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. We're all allies. Everyone's so supportive and learning about different cultures and getting to see their different celebrations, hear the different speakers
That's
that they
right.
have here internally. It's so eye opening, and such a phenomenal value add that being an Extreme employee brings to the table. So yeah, and the Women's Council as well, right? Talking about gender diversity. I know Nabil, right, is very passionate about making sure that women are empowered here in his organization, right? Thank you so much, Titania, and I appreciate you taking those questions, even the one where I kind of put you on the spot. So very, very grateful to you.